if you're overwhelmed and feel that everything's going wrong, this will be useful. My name's Poppy. I'm a psychotherapist, psychologist, coach. 30 years I've worked with people, and this is what I'll tell you about overthinking, overwhelm, and feeling scared about life and what it's not going to bring you, and that you don't have enough of that and you don't know what to do about it, and so on. Firstly, in any written text of any value, in my opinion, that talks about how to survive this thing called life, it will say, do not be afraid. And I remember Bob Proctor saying a number of times, doubt and worry. It advertises our ignorance when we worry and when we have doubt. You're in your head, assuming that what's happening shouldn't be happening, and that you should have more of what you think you need. We like to think we know what we need and what should be happening. And what drives a lot of our resistance to the fact that reality happens in the way that it does is we're very fearful beings. We're not direct about what we want and don't want. We're not particularly courageous generally. So whilst we try and control and predict things, we assume in there that if it goes our way, we can continue to be the kinds of people who don't ask for what we want. We ask for what we think we can have. Who said that? I think that was Bob Proctor as well. We ask for what we think we can get, not what we want. So oftentimes, life comes in and gives us what we need. The partner issue, the financial issue, the job that we don't get or we do get. Something will come along and it's simply a mirror shining at us that we get to decide, what am I going to do with this? What kind of person would I like to be? Because one thing you are in control of is your attitude. And your attitude will be massively improved if two things happen. One is if you spend 24 hours in gratitude and you're very gentle and kind and compassionate with yourself when you realize that most of your day your thoughts are definitely not loving. They're very judgmental and fear-based, judgmental of you and other people. And please don't be telling me, oh no, I don't judge other people, I just judge me. It doesn't work that way. Equally, you get to know that you feeling safe in this world and secure and in control has to do with the fact that you get to learn how to respect yourself and address things as they come up truthfully, not to avoid, not to dismiss, not to pretend, not to hide behind illness or create illness within the body, which is doing its best to have your back to basically say, you know what, I'm on your side, says the body, and because you don't speak to this, I will. And it will be gut issues and headaches and high blood pressure and all kinds of weird and wonderful things that we get and that we create unconsciously to protect ourselves from the fact that we cannot speak to difficult issues. So life will often come in with the car accident or the person who's being difficult or whatever it is, and they're all signposts that take us off course from where we think we should be going. There's always opportunity. And whilst it seems like I might be Pollyanna, particularly if we don't know each other, if there's one person that knows what fucking hell looks like, that would be me. So I appreciate that you will have had your own shade of that. And that's what I would leave it with, is please remember who you are and what you've already overcome. From thousands of people across 3 decades, what I will say is if you're still alive and kicking today, you have extraordinary life force, brilliance, and you're stubborn. If you've survived this, you have a stubborn streak, and you can use that for good any time you choose. Pick your hard, I learned the other day. It's hard to suffer and be overwhelmed and be pissed off and be ill and be resistant to life. It's also hard to be successful, to be happy and to be fulfilled and thriving. However, it takes the same amount of energy. We have to really commit to being unhappy, overwhelmed, shut down, silenced, gaslit people. That takes a lot of work. It's a full-time job, and I know that you know, otherwise you wouldn't be watching 5 minutes of me rambling on about it. So I'd say go gently. Spend 24 hours in gratitude. And if you'd like how to be direct, if you like to, well, if you like that idea, if you like the idea that you would feel safe in any situation, whether it's a literal one, physically, or psychologically, or both, then have a look at Thrive Boundaries Mastery. What you get to decide is, who will I be, how will I be, and will I or will I not honour the decisions that I make with myself. If you typically dishonour things that you know need to happen, then you're not trustworthy. So you will be anxious because you don't trust you. A boundary is for us. So the first thing we get to learn is how to have boundaries, how to make agreements with you and follow through and respect you and watch what happens with other people when you start doing that stuff, because your behaviour sets a precedent to other people about what you will do and what you won't do, that you are discerning about your yeses and your nos and you're not to be messed with. There's a way to do that which isn't about protesting somebody else has to change in order for you to be fine. And it feels good to know that you can navigate life skillfully. However, there are certain things that people will not be able to get away with, because you've started to hold yourself accountable to what you will get away with and won't get away with, so you can design your life on your terms. Thrive Boundaries Mastery is here for you. There's lots of testimonials. Equally, hang around. There's plenty on this page. So like, follow, all the things, and I will see you again. Lots of love.